hear about the new game that came out this week? Did you hear about the new game? It was called Who Wants to Be a Trillionaire? So if you follow like the news and stuff, they were playing this little game, if you will. Excuse me. They were interviewing people. So it's one thing to be a millionaire. It's another thing to be a billionaire. What's the new reality? So they were interviewing people. Who wants to be a trillionaire? And of course, almost everybody said, they said yes, they did, right? And then I said to myself, so it's one thing to be a millionaire, yes? It's another thing to be a billionaire, yes? It's a whole new level to be a trillionaire, yes? And I said to myself, what's beyond a trillionaire? Answer? A disciple of the Lord. Now think about this initial public offering that came out this week, right? And our gospel today is Jesus's, if you will, initial public offering. And what is he doing? He is calling his disciples and calling out to us and calling us to something so much more. Even in the second reading, more is what God promises to us. Or go to the first reading. Anybody who really responds to the call of God in their lives, higher than on eagle's wings, the best metaphor they could think of their time. Higher, more abundant is the blessings of God. Go to the end of that first reading, and anybody who really crosses over the line and jumps in, you are endeared and dear to the Lord your God. And what God offers, promises to those who go, those who follow, those who freely, if you will, jump in and take the risk, are blessings more abundant than we can count or we can imagine. So then you have to ask yourself logically, if that is Jesus's public offering, not just a once for all, it's an offer that he makes every day, a call that he gives to us every day. Why would all of us not jump on this discipleship train? And here's the hiccup point. At the end of the gospel, without cost, you have received. Without cost, you are to. Without cost, you have received. Without cost, you are to. And in order to get the abundant fullness of God's blessing, higher, wider, greater than you can count or imagine, you literally have to pour yourself out and give yourself fully, freely, and abundantly to the Lord. Right before that line, look at all the things that they could do. They literally could change everything in the name of the Lord. And in order to get that fullness of life, the abundant blessings of God, without cost, you have received. Everything we have is gift, yes? Without cost, you are to give. And that brings us back then to our second reading today. We need to pray for the courage to die to ourselves. We need to pray for the courage to die to our fears. We need to pray for the courage to trust fully, completely in the Lord. That when we give of ourselves, fully, freely, when we literally jump in, if you will, metaphorically, to the pool of discipleship, the blessings higher than on eagle's wings. The blessings greater than a trillion. That is the promise and the offer of the Lord. So they played a game. Who wants to be a trillionaire? What's next? being a disciple of Jesus. The gospel today, his initial, if you will, public offering. The difference, it's not a one-time opportunity. It is an invitation, it is a call, it is a promise that the Lord offers to each of us, young and old, the ordinary folk every day. And nothing ordinary is about the love, the grace, and the blessings that God will give to those who trust, who follow, who walk in his ways.